A nuclear catastrophe may be looming over West Asia. The head of the UN's atomic watchdog just issued an urgent warning. If Israel strikes Iran's southern nuclear plant at Bushehr, the consequences could be catastrophic, not just for Iran, but for the entire Gulf region. Over the past week, Israel has launched a series of military strikes on Iran's nuclear infrastructure, targeting sites in Natanz, Isfahan, and Iraq. But so far, Bushehr, the only operational civilian nuclear power plant in Iran, has remained untouched. That may not last. Rafael Grossi, Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, addressed the UN Security Council on Friday. His message was stark. A direct hit on Bushehr would result in a very high release of radioactivity.
Countries of the region have reached out directly to me over the past few hours to express their concerns, and I want to make it absolutely and completely clear. In case of an attack on the Bushehr nuclear power plant, a direct hit would result in a very high release of radioactivity to the environment.
He explained that even a strike on the power lines that keep the plant's cooling systems running could trigger a meltdown. Bushehr houses thousands of kilograms of nuclear material. Built in the 1970s under Iran's pro-Western Shah and later developed with Russia's help, the plant now sits on Iran's Gulf Coast, dangerously close to some of the most densely populated and economically vital areas in the Middle East. If the reactor is damaged or loses power, radioactive material could escape into the atmosphere, contaminating air, soil, and water across borders. According to Grossi, the fallout could require mass evacuations and shelter-in-place orders for areas hundreds of kilometers away, potentially including cities in Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Kuwait. These Gulf nations rely heavily on desalinated water from the Persian Gulf. Contamination of the sea would threaten the drinking water supply of over 18 million people. Fishing industries would collapse. Food supplies would shrink. The economic arteries of the region, already strained by conflict, would seize up. The IAEA has received direct appeals from several countries in the region calling for immediate diplomatic de-escalation. Some Gulf states, in coordination with the UN, have begun preparing contingency plans, including iodine stockpiling and evacuation protocols, should the worst occur. Complicating matters, an Israeli military spokesperson initially claimed Bushehr had been struck, but later walked back the statement, calling it a mistake. Still, Israel confirmed targeting other nuclear sites, signaling that nothing is off the table. Russia, which supplies fuel and technical support for the Bushehr reactor, has also raised alarms. Its embassy in Tehran assured that the plant remains fully operational and poses no current threat, but warned that a military strike could unleash a Chernobyl-style disaster. Qatar's Prime Minister recently stated that any radioactive contamination of the Gulf would leave the region with no water, no fish, nothing, no life. That's not hyperbole, it's a very real possibility. Grossi concluded with a plea for diplomacy, offering to travel personally to help negotiate a resolution. He reaffirmed that the IAEA can verify Iran's compliance with non-proliferation agreements through its inspection regime. But time is running short. The Bushehr plant remains a flashpoint. One missile, by miscalculation or design, could turn West Asia into a radioactive zone. The world has been warned. Will leaders listen before it's too late?